So I'm continuing the topology, creating a ring of vertices around the nose hole, but I'm not filling it for the time being, as I will do this when finishing the retopology in case I want to add any additional loop cuts. Then I will follow the detail we have sculpted to lay down some topology, add some more geometry here on the eyebrow, and just follow the flow we have sculpted. I'm not using any add-on, but I recommend you the RetopleFlow add-on from CG Cookie and Jonathan Williamson. It's a bit expensive, but believe me, it's so efficient that if you are used to retopology, you will love it. You can also use the B-Surface add-on, which is available on the trunk of Blender. So it's free, and it's also a great tool to make your topology faster. I'm used to make the topology by hand like this, only using the F2 add-on, and I wanted the retopology to be as simple as possible to follow. So as I'm using only very basic manipulation, it's easy for you even in this time lapse to understand what I'm doing. Running down straight the jaw, I will try to set the neck rapidly, just a loop, and then refine some of the area of the mouth. I won't be closing the mouth for the time being, as it will need some extrusion in the inside, and this will need us to hide everything, so I will do this later on. Finally, I will extrude a ring of faces around the neck so that it will set my edge loop for the next step. But for the time being, I'm creating the here. So what I do, I don't mind about the topology around the here for the time being. I will just try to make a nice retopology, creating an edge that follows the faceted surface we have created, and create a loop of edges around the outside of the here. I can add now a second edge loop by extruding the previously laid vertices to create some depth to the here, and now I will try to make this first gap. So what I do is that I just extrude a few vertices to define its corner, and then I will be able to close the outer edge loop and extrude the thickness edge loop we have said before. I've kept a gap here because I don't know yet how I will create this hole, and I want to keep some density here. That's why I haven't closed this part. In this way, by simply extruding vertices and creating a pole here, I can fill this area and have a nice edge flow. I will now create a loop cut and press G immediately, so that every single point will be projected based on the point of view, and they will fit properly the surface. I will be using a shrink wrap modifier for some steps, but generally I prefer to work without it and using only the face snapping mode, because sometimes it's hard to understand how the shrink wrap is deforming the mesh you are creating, and you don't know if the underlying mesh without the modifier is correct. So again, that might be a bit longer. I'm not sure the shrink wrap modifier will save you a lot of time here, but your raw mesh will be clean. I can now work on the back of the hair, following the loops we have created and giving our hair some depth. And I will finish here with a diamond shape so that I can easily close the point of the hair. I'll be able then to give some depth to the inside of the hair, following the existing geometry and creating this kind of bridge to get in the depth of the hair. And then I will try to fill the upper part just following the existing geometry. I believe at this stage I have enough geometry to fill everything, and as this area won't be that much animated, I can keep it simple. I don't need to have perfect edge loops. So I try to find my way just to fill the area, creating poles in the holes so that I won't have any trouble to have quads everywhere. Now I'm trying to align the camera to face the hole so that whenever I will extrude and scale down this part, it will be projected in the hole currently and will snap to the surface. Then I just have to move a bit the vertices to make it more regular and more even. I can now finish the back of the hair, adding a geometry if needed and reprojecting it, and I will start connecting the mesh to the rest of the face based on the existing geometry. And whenever I will face trouble with a lack or too much edge loops on one or the other side, I will try to make the vertices flow going up toward the head and toward the horns. As we haven't made this before, they are not already modeled, I will be able to cheat a bit and have maybe not such a clean topology on the top of the head, as it's an hard surface and won't be deformed. I can now select the group of vertices and smooth them, and then reproject them by pressing G. And I will go for the back of the head. So I'm just following the already existing topology we've made for the hair for my number of edges, and I will follow the skull shape. So I'm removing the previous ring, and I will add several loop cuts here so that it's more even. So after refining a bit the neck, I will start to extrude the topology along the tendons here and close the loop so that it will deform correctly, a bit like the shape on the upper lip. As I was able to close the base of the neck, I can now finish the nose hole because I know I won't be adding any edge loop around the center of the face, so they won't be going into the nose. So we can fill the gap now. So I should have a pair number of vertices which will allow me to fill this very quickly. I will finish this part just extruding some geometry and filling the gap on the trapezings following the clavicle shape.